Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Marvel Strike Force this morning on Tuesday, and I am here to talk about some of the stuff from yesterday. I'm here to talk about the event store, here to talk about the Starjammers getting pushed randomly, which I honestly thought was absolutely hilarious. Obviously, we knew that Lalandra was coming and things like that, but there was some skepticism about whether or not they were going to push the rest of the team. Honestly, I don't even know if it was on purpose or not because some of the like none of the envoys got any exclusive information for this, which I thought was hilarious, but also shit for them. And so there's just an absolute mess yesterday, I think, all in all. So we're gonna be talking about that in today's video. So let's boil this down. So let's just start things off a little bit here with the event store. So I did some updated math. A lot of the things hasn't changed, right? It was just a multiplication of 10. If you caught my Discord message, that's basically what happened, was that the milestone was just multiplied by 10, and that's what happened. The free claims, though, we are getting 10,000 Cupid arrows daily. The reason why I wanted to, and also from the web milestone as well. So 80,000 Cupid arrows from the daily free claim, 80,000 from the web milestone. We don't know about the weekend or Friday free claims, things like that. But I kind of want to add some of this up together so we can talk about what's actually in there and like what you can actually get for that. So that's 160,000 there. Then also based on your campaign energy spending, if you're doing like 200 cores daily, you're gonna get about another 350,000 thereabouts. So that's about 530, right? Not including that there's going to be any other sources from the weekend, but by and large, that's probably about all that you're going to get. So, with that in mind, what is in the store? Well, you can see that there's a variety of different awakened ability pass materials for 17,500 for 10. And in order to get this in completion, you do have to buy this 20 times. So it's 17.5 times 20, which is 350,000. Now, here's the problem, because this store is only actually here for 8 days. And so that does not give you a lot of potential times to see this in the store. I don't know how many are actually in those two slots, but the chances of seeing it that many times, right? Because let's just say 8 days for sake of argument. That's 20. Actually, I don't even need to do in the calculator. That's 24 refreshes, right? So you basically almost need to see the awakened ability material every single time you refresh without coring, right? Which means that you probably will have to core if you want to get that. Now, I guess the other option is that you could still buy this, and when it becomes available in another place, then you can finish it. But like at that point, I feel it's all or nothing, and I don't know whether or not I'm going to get this finished, so I'm not actually going to buy it. And like I said, what we were at somewhere around like 550,000, I think I said, expected Cupid's arrows. And so I could get one of these in full, and that's about it. Also, the Jean Grey shards and I believe it's Medusa, they're both 5 for 70,000. So with the 550,000 that you can get, I mean, this means you could buy it. Oh, that was wrong. 550,000 divided by 70,000 is probably what I meant to do. And that's just under 8 purchases, right? Let's just say you get 8 anyways. That'd be 40 shards for Jean Grey, Medusa, or a mix of both. And it's not that much. I mean, if you missed her, maybe if you missed her unlock event, I got super lucky. I got a jackpot. I got one jackpot, I think, on Jean Grey, and then I cored for her, and then plus the unlock event and things like that. So like I'm already into the 6-star with her. So yeah, I absolutely don't need that. And the rest of the character shards, pretty garbage. The purple ISOs, pretty garbage. I think it's pretty bad. I mean, I wouldn't personally buy it, and that's just me. Dark promos was tempting, but given how expensive it is, and the fact we only get 550,000, I mean, we've had 4 months of event stores, maybe more, 4 to 5 months of event stores. So, like, I don't even know if you even need red gear, and all that stuff is garbage too. The only thing else to really talk about is the Cupid's Emporium Diamond Orb. Now, this is where you're going to get your Old Man Logan. Now, my problem with this is that the drop rates are significantly lower than previous diamond orbs. And also keep in mind it's 250K, which means you're probably only going to get 2 of them free to play. And the diamond cost, or sorry, the diamond percent chance for them is 16% for Old Man Logan. Now I don't remember completely, but I thought that when they had the ones for both for Mephisto and for Kahori, it was higher than this. I thought, I want to say at least 25%. But someone can correct me in the comments down below if I'm wrong. But 16%, that's a 1 in 6. Like my odds aren't good. I might do it anyways, but my options are like what, two of these orbs, or try or some Jean Grey shards, or trying to complete that, which is probably not going to happen, right? Since this is just a 1 week event, or 8 day event in this case, the the store is not going to be around for very long for me to be able to look for these, right? So that's the other thing too. Like if the store was open for like an extra 4 or 5 days, maybe I'd go for one of the ability materials, like especially the Shadow King passive. Actually, I think might have been the better thing to go for, especially with all the stuff that you get with that. But other than that, it's not very good. And yeah, so it's just not. P.S. I want to. Can I find it? Let me see if I can find the photo. There was a 7 red Mephisto in here. I guess it's kind of rare. Hold on, I got the photo. 2.63 million Cupid's arrows or a 7 red Mephisto. Holy shit! Not to mention it's impossible to do. But I just for shits and giggles, right? So we get 40 per one energy. So we take that 2,263,000 divided by 40, and you need to spend 65,750 campaign energy in order to get enough Cupid's arrows in order to buy that. This is absolutely absurd. Obviously, it's not there for free to play. But the fact that it's even in there at all, I wonder what the other costs are. If is there a 6 in there? If there's a 7 in there, either way, I think it's just absolutely bonkers. Obviously, you might as well just pay the dark promotion credit cost if that's what you're thinking about at all. So, yeah, some crazy stuff in this game. I don't think this is a very good event store, but that's just me. Maybe others think differently, but it is what it is. There's a leaderboard attached to this event, so do what you want with that. Also, there was a few other things that just popped up in the game. I guess it was kind of in the blogs, but I guess we didn't expect it in this way. I thought because those look like the Lunar New Year envelope things that they were giving out. I was a bit confused about this. You get this through War right now. So this gives you 88 guaranteed orange training modules and 888,000 gold per orb. And then you get this from both the War Season rewards and your daily win rates. So it does say available in the War Season, but it's both in your regular War win and loss, and it's also for the season. So there's two ways to get that. And I guess that's going to be temporary for the next 2 weeks or something like that. And so it's going to be additional gold and training mods for that time period. Whether or not something like this keeps sticking around, I'm not sure. Right. And so the other thing that they didn't mention, they failed to mention this, is that they added in the Crucible store, they added the awakened ability materials for Doctor Strange and Moondragon. So this is showing up in the top row. There we go. Actually, I should buy that. So this is for regular Crucible credits, which you should have more than an abundance of. This should be super easy to get if you need any of this stuff, but obviously I don't because I picked it up in event stores, I would imagine, in the winter snowball store or whatever it was, snowflake store, whatever was the currency. So I picked it up there. Also alongside that would be the Blade and Captain Britain stuff and all this stuff in the War store, which I'm forgetting to. I guess my store just reset recently, so that's there. But this was mentioned, I think actually this was mentioned on Reddit in a Reddit post. The Crucible ones absolutely were not mentioned anywhere. So there we go. Make sure you pick up stuff in your store. There's a little bit more than there was before. I guess that's all I can really say. The Path to Peggy Carter orbs were also added into Alliance War, so you can find them there too. Other than that, Phoenix Awakening orb is going to be a paid orb, of course, so there's not really much else to say there. The other thing, of course, the second half of this video, I want to talk about the Starjammers, because they were added in, surprisingly, they were added into the game alongside the reworks to Groot and Rocket. So, you know, I haven't seen a time where they just kind of like oopsies or accidentally added it into the game since Astral, when the Doctor Strange and Moondragon rework went in. Obviously, it wasn't much of a surprise at that point, and I don't think it really is here either, because if you've been following along with the channel, then you would have known the characters to Starjammers anyways. But my point is that like there wasn't anything that the envoys or other content creators associated with the program were able to reveal to the public before this happened in the game. So this is another instance of the public finding out before the envoys were able to release information about that, which I just think is, crazy and begs the point about why even be in the program at all. But hey, that's just some of my thoughts anyways. And so these are officially live now. And so you can see the Starjammer tag on Groot. And I went ahead, I've been upgrading them over the last little while because I'm not super excited or thrilled with Liberty, and the fact that I know that Lalandra is going to be required for Xavier makes me think that perhaps the Starjammer team in general is going to have a wider use, whether it's associated also with Xavier or it's going to be it's a Crucible team. So I guess I'm going to get probably get more value out of a Crucible team than I am from an Alliance War team. It's a little bit more fun for me. I mean, I play Crucible a little bit more than I play Alliance War, and I just wanted to do it. I had a lot of gold. I just wanted to build up Starjammers early. I guess that's why. So there you go. I have some high hopes for Groot, though. Stats are pretty good, and he is going to be the de facto tank of the team. We'll have to see about what things look like with Lalandra's summoning Gladiator and whether or not the summon actually does much. But Doctor Strange's Wong, when he had that from Astral, it didn't really do all that much. The Wong was fairly weak, so I don't know what the stats of Gladiator is going to look like as a summon. So we're gonna have to see whether or not that makes a big difference. My favorite part about this, the huge change, right? If you watch my video about the Starjammers kit, absolutely insane rework to Groot. He is more of a support tank character still, but just a lot of different stuff on his kit, including the ability to reduce all negative effects, including trauma, right? But it is just him and the Starjammer allies. It's not like Shadow King, where I think it's everyone, right? So it is restricted to the team. However, just a regular character being able to do that is still pretty big. And also the addition of his special doing damage now and flipping random positive effects. So that's pretty cool. And safeguard for 2 turns on a skill that's on a cooldown of 3. So that is pretty quick turnaround if you are able to or use Groot for a long period of time in battle. Also, this is outside of Cosmic Crucible as well. So I don't know, maybe potential support character for a future Dark Dimension. Maybe. Although he is actually really expensive to gear, so he's 5 pieces, so probably not. And then we had the changes to Rocket, although he's probably the equivalent of War Machine. Maybe he might be a little bit better, but he's kind of like that. He didn't really receive a whole ton of love, so that's a little bit unfortunate there. And then, of course, we saw the inclusions of surprise, right, of the characters that nobody knew was coming. But anyways, Havoc here in the game, and I do want to kind of take a look a little bit at the models, the animations, and things like that. So Havoc here is Cosmic, of course, Mutant Blaster, X-Men, Starjammer. So confirmed to have the X-Men trait. I thought it was interesting that they decided to give him the Cosmic location trait, I guess, because it was either going to be between that and Global. The rest of the team is Cosmic, so I guess that makes sense. But I guess from a lore perspective, I never pinned Havoc as like a cosmic type of character, but maybe that's just me. That'd be more like his brother Vulcan. Anyways, let me know what your thoughts are about the Havoc model. I'm somewhere in the middle. Like, I think it could have been better, but it's not the worst thing I've seen. So there you go. Howard the Duck. Looks like they just kind of ripped off Rocket Raccoon's model a little bit because I'm pretty sure that's how he floats around. Rocket also has a jetpack, and I think the way that they hang there is kind of the same. So they probably use something similar to that. You can see his traits over here, and their speeds are quite interesting as well. Launch is really slow actually, so this is she might have the best model actually out of all of them. I don't know if that's a huge compliment, but I don't know. I kind of like Lalandra a little bit better, I think. And there we go. Again, I want to know what happens when you like build up Lalandra and then you get the Gladiator summon and how good that is or not. Speaking of Gladiator, something that I didn't specifically mention in a video, but there was some changes to his kit specifically. And if you do use Gladiator with Lalandra, so not only does he give defense up, now this is also going to apply to the summon, right? But this might have some applicability possibly outside of Cosmic Crucible, maybe in Alliance War and other places where you might use them together. But also this part of the kit with the expose mechanic does call out just Lalandra. So if you do have Gladiator on your team, then it will, so Gladiator and Lalandra together and not the Annihilators, then you can still gain that, the exposed and vulnerable restrictions here. So anti-Cabal, that kind of stuff at the start of the match. So that's pretty cool. I would think that's more applicable to Alliance War because in Cosmic Crucible, you kind of want the full team. In Groot's kit and in Howard's kit, it does include the full team's requirements. So there you go. And also, just for the record, the uniques for the characters, Infinite Energy, which looks like the Tesseract, right? And then Howard the Duck is Palladium. This is also doubling up with Rocket. So for those of you who are like thinking about uniques early, and Lalandra is Fortified Chromium. I can't remember the last major character to use that. I know Archangel uses it, which is pretty old. Quicksilver, I think, was also pretty old. I don't know who used Chromium more recently, but anyways, those are the 3 uniques for the different characters. And so there you go. Right, there's some things happening later on this week. We got the event going on right now. We got Battle World coming back next Tuesday. The Lalandra event starts next Friday. But yeah, it's just some crazy times. Actually, the other thing I wanted to finish off with is this might be the first time that we've had two full teams that are basically not unlocked yet in the roster at the same time. I didn't pay for Peggy Carter or anything like that, so there's Peggy here, and the rest of the Liberty team down here, and then we have the Starjammers team in the roster as well. Two basically at the same time. It really seems like they're rushing this. I don't know if they got their timelines mixed up at all or not, but like there's just so much going on at the same time. But at the same time, there's a lot of nothing going on too. So it's really strange times in Marvel Strike Force. We have Patriot that's going to be like next Friday at the same time, like the Lalandra events, like just starting up. So it's going to be super weird too, which is later on this week or at the end of this week. Lalandra's event starting because of that Cosmic Crucible event on this weekend. Crazy times in Marvel Strike Force. I don't know. We'll have to ride this wave together. That's it for now, everyone. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. And until next time, stay safe and healthy. And I'll see y'all later. Boilon signing out.